Someone actually did it. It was Foot. They bit the bullet for everyone else against Eternal Fire here on Haven. They decided to play with the new Harbor. Now, Mr. Fallen here, his stats maybe aren't, wonderful. They did actually lose this game as well for 13-15, but it was pretty close, and as you see, they had a very, very good attack side. Now, looking at the comp overall, this is just kind of the normal comp, but swapping Viper for the new Harbor. So let's see how it went. And you know what? In the very first round, the very first kill of the game, Harbor did something.
Fire. Well, they'll just want to heat this up.
No slouches to beat in these tier 1 teams. They've done it before and they want to do it again. Skyland taking an early fight and will be putting...
Oh, yeah. You thought you were going to watch this video and me to just say, oh, Harbor was bad. Harbor did nothing. Look at how bad Harbor is. No! Straight away. First thing in the game. Here's a little smoke for you. Oh, I'm going to activate the shield now. Oh, yeah, go and spam away. Have some fun with that. Oh, dead. Oh, it's Mr. Fallen getting the kill on the Harbor. Oh, boom. Mic drop. Harbor. Amazing. Do we need to watch the rest of the round? Foot do win the round, it must be said. But does Harbor really do too much else in this round? No. So we won't bother watching it. But straight away, Harbor looks amazing. Okay, now let's skip ahead to the bonus round here for Foot, and in this one, we get some interesting things. I mean, Mr. Vaughn's going to get his ult online in this round, right? So, again, if we take a look at the map, they do the same thing, right? Little cove in here, same cove in here. You got the Omen smoke coming in here as well, right? Dart down short, pressure, pressure, pressure. You can't spam this either because, you're in trouble. And even if you think about what happened in the pistol round, imagine you're like one of these players and, you're an aggressive duelist and you're coming up here and you're feeling aggressive. Well, with this Cove smoke in here and a Yoru against you, potentially flashing through this, you're going to be a little bit worried. You're going to be a little bit worried, and you're creating a lot of pressure here. Now, as we can see, Foot aren't going towards A at all. They are just creating pressure, and they've created a little corridor where they might be, down towards A long. But then we get this Harbor wall. Look at this. There is a Killjoy alarm bot here, so that probably means that the risk for Eternal Fire is a little bit less. But going across here, we can enter into garage here. We could potentially threaten to come into B as well. Obviously, this alarm bot perhaps means that's less so the case. This is why, by the way, that the wall is useful to have as your, refreshable utility, because being able to create pressure in multiple areas, throughout a round is better than what we've currently got, Riot, if you didn't know that. But yeah, we create some pressure in here, and now they're going to go for this little C split after coming in towards garage, and we're going to get the Harbor ult towards C as well.
Back up and start to get that information from Spear holding down in garage.
Molly slows them down, but only for a couple seconds. Gonna hear the TP, gonna know there's players there, but doesn't find the shot. Zeus, how have you done that? And now Sturban all alone on site. The wave comes through and the paranoia sets in. But so far, Foot haven't pushed off of it. The utility is down, the ultimate has been used, and they...
Okay, so up to this point in the video, you'll probably, like me, just losing your mind about how good Harbor is all of a sudden. But in this round, we kind of see that the changes that they made and did not make do make him a bit worse, right? One is that we do have to have this slow here. Now, they do end up getting this kill anyway, but it feels bad still that we get slowed when flashing through our own wall? Yes. Then we get the ult, right? And the ult, here it comes. It comes across the C site here, looking good. But when I look at this ult and what actually ends up happening to this Viper, you know what was going through my head? What was going through my head was... the old ult would have been a lot better in this situation. Like, a lot better, right? Imagine the old ult here. Viper probably then just has to, fully leave the site and is no threat whatsoever, right? You take the site for free, you play a 5v4 post plant, and, you're in a very good spot to win the round. Instead, because we've got the new ult, we don't know that this Viper is back here, right? We don't properly kind of scale with, with this ult. And so we actually end up not getting that much from it. If someone is in this position, the old ult is a lot better, right? Because you reveal that they are in this position for definite, and they don't really have many options of where to go. Yeah, they end up killing this Viper, but is there a world where this Viper, goes 1-for-1 instead? Maybe, pops off and gets a couple kills instead? Yes, and that, I think, is the problem with the new ult versus the old ult. Is the old ult, there was no bad use for the old ult. The old ult was always good, because if no one was there, you knew no one was there, right? It would tell you no one was there. But if there was someone there, you would also know that someone is definitely there. And that is a big, big part of the old ult that is now missing. When you look at the ults used in this game, generally every time I was thinking, I'd rather have the old one. Okay, let's skip on now to round number 5. So this is kind of the first full gun round after Foot won the bonus here. And they are just going to go out towards A. Now, we actually get the first kind of maybe confirmed use of a... I don't even know what the ability's called. I just call it the Whirlpool thing. But the Whirlpool is we're going to hit someone with it. But take a look at this. Again, we end up with this problem. Again, of like, look, we use the harbor wall. Oh, and this is going to slow us. Now we have to run through our own smoke slowed. I hate that. Absolutely hate that, right? I mean, just look, Mr. Fallen there. But there's a Whirlpool. Look at it go. Ooh, and even got the hit. The Neon thought that they were outside of it there, but got the hit as well, right? And now we can potentially go for this A exec. However, they're about to get stalled, pause, but then go back in.
And on this, the blind comes through as well, and they still want to push. They know that there's an op on site. They don't really care as the utility is good enough, but Eternal Fire.
Re-given and retaken gratefully by Eternal Fire Flames, and they will start to push, try and get more, and it's a little bit greedy that costs Brave the shot, as they will get the trade at least and look for another, and we'll find it. And now this op is going ham, but fuck.
So yeah, Foot get stalled out kind of the first time on this exec, right? There's a lot of utility going back and forth, neon walls, omen flashes, you know, all going crazy. They decide just to pause, but did you notice what happened when they went for the second one? So they ping this out here. What they're going to do is double omen smoke in the normal position, so you can see the 2 normal smokes go on there, and then they cove this way with the Yoru TP. Yoru TP into a cove, into the double smokes. This is what I've been talking about. I don't know if I've been watching some TMV videos, but if you are, you know, guys, Mr. Fallen, hello. Thank you for at least trying this. Now, they don't actually go and stick this TP, but if they did, they would have been rewarded for it, because if this Yoru, so they just faked this TP, and I think Izzy maybe gets a little sight of Zeus there, so maybe, you know, knows that that must have been a fake. But if that was real, I mean, he's just dead. Like, there's no way with an op in this spot, a Yoru has just TP'd there into a cove. I really wish he would have stuck it at this point, because it would have been so fun to see. Unfortunately, he didn't. But it didn't matter in the end, obviously, as we see, because they do manage to find enough kills here scaling through. Hey, some of the creative stuff we can potentially do. And look, if you are going to play the current version of Harbor, you better be doing some creative stuff like that, because let's be real, why else are you playing this agent? Okay, now let's skip ahead to round number 9, where in this round, they actually start the round by doing this Harbor wall like the kind of default Viper wall that we often see, right? But obviously the problem with doing this with Harbor versus Viper is that you only get one of these walls, right? It's not like you can put this up and down again, so this becomes kind of a bit of a big clue potentially for the opposing team, and they are more likely to definitely think that you're there and potentially fight you if that's what they want to do.
You would have to imagine they'd be pretty happy with how this first half is going. The new challenge comes through as Brave is the one that peeks through off of that smoke, followed up by Skyland, just fighting for A-Long, putting a little bit more pressure onto this foot side in it. It'll at least navigate back in a 1-for-1, but...
And of course, you also have the other problem with doing this with Harbor, of course, which is, again, that your own wall slows you for some reason. And I don't know why, right? And so that can cost you at times, right? Like, when that Omen dies there, you know, I'm like, where's the trade? Where's the trade? Where's the trade? Right? When you watch this, you know, from Foot's perspective, it's like, okay, the Omen is dead. Someone swing, but maybe you're, you know, less inclined to think to swing because you're having to run through your own slow first as well. Again, when you're doing this with Harbor, obviously, like, yeah, it's the same wall as the Viper wall, but in reality, like, this part of the wall isn't doing that much. By the time you've actually got there, this part of the wall is, you know, probably starting to fall down anyway. And so really you're just doing it for this little part here. And if that's, you know, the reason that you're doing it, it's like, well, it's pretty obvious what's going on, because it's a fairly big commitment to use this wall at the start of the round. And then finally, let's take a look at round number 18. So we flip sides now. The score is actually 12-5, right? So Foot were up 12-5. They end up losing this map, don't forget. But obviously they struggled on the defense side, and Harbor, you know, is part of those struggles. Now in this round, they go for this 4-stack on A. Very aggressive A, and this early Harbor wall across like so. Again, the fact that you don't have this on cooldown, you know, doesn't feel great. They're gonna, you know, start to pressure in a little bit here towards Garage, and we're gonna use our Cove smoke just here as well. But this is a crucial problem with the new Harbor. You know, this player now should potentially be able to, you know, try and hold down the backside long enough to allow some teammates to come in and help support. But Mr. Fallen, as you'll see in just a second, he kind of can't do that because he just doesn't have enough util.
Yeah, it really just gives him that control of Garage, but you still have to worry about C Long, right? And as you will start to push through, Mr. Fallen gets the timing to just escape.
Okay, so this isn't just the Harbor's fault. I would say this is a pretty poor round played by Foot in general, right? Like, if you're going for this setup where you've got Killjoy turret here and you've got 3 players stacked here, like, you've got to be more proactive than this. It's a weird Viper's Pit in towards Garage here. Our Euro TP actually runs out for the first time. That, you know, they are pretty slow here. By the time we get to where they're actually kind of starting this exec, right, and Mr. Fallen's here. Like, okay, he does have his ult this round, so that is like one thing in his favor, but obviously most rounds you're not gonna have an ult. Like look at this. What do you want him to do with this? Right? One little whirlpool? Like, he's just got no chance, right? And this is where, like, we need some more util. Right? There has to be some more here. We need more. And that, I think, is Harbor's, you know, main issue. He just doesn't have enough util. Like, there's no way Mr. Fallen can do anything about an exec coming at him right there. This is a problem that Harbor always had, which is with the high tide, when you're in these spots, it's very difficult to use, you know, very quickly in the moment when someone's aggroing you, right? Like, it's difficult to, oh, let me pull out this wall and start drawing, you know, some art on the site. Like, that's not going to happen. So really, we're looking at the Cove ability here, but because you've only got one of them and it's on a cooldown, you know, yeah, you might use it and then it's gone. So it's just not going to work. And you end up having, you know, to play full retake here. You think of maybe other agents. If this is a Viper instead, right, in the normal comp, maybe a Viper puts up that wall and is able to hold the backside and allow the Euro to rotate on. Now, we are going to get a nice little ult here as well. But again, could this be the old ult and would it be perfectly fine? Yes.
Yeah, but as Zeus cracks the ultimate, identifies where Stairburn is, the team should just be spamming through, but Stairburn is able to pick up 2 kills, has no right to do that. And Zeus has to just back up and try and find the fight themselves.
Never mind, Zeus just tries to go forwards and find the fights themselves. A flash now available. This player has been playing insanely good, and if this is the reason that Eternal Fire loses, they will be haunted in their dreams at night. Mr. Fallen.
So yeah, we do end up with a nice ult here that does catch multiple players from the opposing team, but oh, guess what? It's Harbor, so they have to be bad, so it also blinds our teammate as well. Coming across Garage now, hitting multiple players, that's nice, but now Zeus comes back in. He now also gets hit by the ult, is also slowed, is also nearsighted, and just happens to have won that fight. Overall, is this agent, like, unsalvageable? No. You know, there's a world where, yeah, this agent could be okay one day. I think looking at this, though, for me, like, one big problem was, I do think the old ult was just better than the new one. Still, we're still in very significant buff territory to get Harbor to actually be kind of, you know, the level to see consistent play.